one of the things I learned from my adopted mother, who raised 7 children by herself, and she only had a 3rd grade education, I learned the value of commitment, of honoring your word as yourself. She made a commitment that she's going to raise us, and she did, and she didn't have to. There's no saying judge a person not by what they do, but what they do that they don't have to do. To judge the true quality of a person is what they're doing, nobody's looking. And there are many foster parents and adopted parents who played that role. And the other role I see that somebody was very significant in my life was my high school teacher, who was a speech and drama teacher, who really, he wasn't my teacher, but he became one of my mentors. I was in special education while in school. From the 5th grade, I was put back into the 4th grade, identified as educable mentally retarded, failed again when I was in the 8th, and I was in special education throughout school. But I used to go after school and watch Mr. Leroy Washington coaching students to participate in the Elks Oratorical Contest, and I really admired him, and I wanted to be a speech coach, which I am now. I've developed a reputation as a speaker, but my gift is helping people to develop themselves. And I watched this man, and I said, I want to be like him. And now, at 53, I'm working on it.
Since the beginning of time, there have been countless stories of people that have benefited after they gave. Even the Bible makes a reference to, cast your bread upon the waters. So, I don't know if I can answer you, but I can tell you firsthand experience, 1,000 times, when I benefited because I gave first unselfishly. I truly believe I could not be in the position I'm at in life right now if it wasn't for that. By the same token, you can't define it to somebody. You can't explain it to somebody. It's kind of like love, describe love. Well, how are you going to describe it? Okay? So, but I can tell you, if you give of your knowledge, okay, you feel better. That alone is receiving because you gave, correct? If you give of your knowledge or wisdom, you get a different perspective on it. So you become even smarter, sharper, greater wisdom. That's another example of you received because you gave first. There are just too many examples to explain, but I can tell you this, if you don't mind. If you give to get, you won't get because you gave. But if you give for the sheer sake of giving, you get. That's another thing I learned. If you make your giving subject to, it never comes back to you. Someday I'll figure out how to describe this properly. I can only hope that I'm persuasive enough to convince people to at least give it a whirl. You'll be pleasantly surprised.